The room was cold. Silent. Huge windows showed the stars, but no one was looking. 12 alien leaders sat in a circle. Some had scales, some had fur, some had skin like metal. All were part of the Galactic Council, the oldest and most powerful group in the galaxy. For thousands of years, they ruled over hundreds of worlds. Peace was kept through control. Fear. Rules. Order. Now, they were afraid. A hologram glowed in the center of the room. It showed Earth small, blue, spinning quietly in the dark. "They're spreading," said a deep voice. The speaker was Valthrex, a tall creature with 6 arms and glowing yellow eyes. "In the last 10 years, they've reached 5 new systems. They build fast. They fight dirty. And they never stop. They are unpredictable," said another, the metal-skinned Chiron. "They ignore our laws. They hack our satellites. They stole warp tech in half the time it took us to develop it." A third leader, Zilari of the Mindborn, floated above her seat. Her voice was calm, but sharp. "They are human. Young, wild, dangerous. But we have peace," said Lauren, the soft-spoken plant being from the water worlds. "Let's speak to them. Warn them." Valthrex slammed his hand on the table. "We did. 3 times. They responded with silence or worse, jokes." The others murmured. Humanity had become a problem. Earth was once seen as weak, isolated, too emotional. But now, their ships flew fast. Their colonies spread quickly. Their soldiers didn't fear death. And worst of all, they refused to obey. "They are chaos," said Zilari. "They will break the balance we built." Finally, after hours of talk, the council voted. Earth must be stopped. But not with war. That was too loud. Too messy. The council preferred quiet power. So, they called it a containment protocol. One by one, human colonies would be erased: accidents, solar flares, pirate attacks. No evidence. No warning. Then Earth itself would suffer a natural disaster. The vote was 10-2. Lauren and a silent ice being voted no. But it didn't matter. The plan had begun. Meanwhile, on Earth, the news came in waves. First, Mars Base Alpha went dark. No signals. No survivors. Earth's media blamed equipment failure. But the families of the workers knew something was wrong. Then, Europa colony vanished. A whole research station gone. No explosion. No wreckage. Panic began to grow. Military leaders from every country started asking questions. Scientists looked at the data. Space agencies shared secrets they had kept hidden for years. A pattern was clear. These were not accidents. Someone was attacking. Earth's leaders met in a secret base under the Atlantic Ocean. Old enemies sat at the same table. China. The US, Russia. India. Africa's Space Union. The European Defense Bloc. They all agreed on one thing. This is not human. A young commander named Elena Rio stood and pointed at the latest data. They're targeting us from outside the solar system. Fast, smart, invisible ships. Using tech we don't understand. This is a first strike. By who? Someone asked. Not pirates. Not AI. Something bigger. She looked around the room. I think the galaxy just declared war on us. The room went quiet. Then, the President of the United Americas said what no one wanted to hear. If they're coming for us, we fight. The first blow. A week later, the moon base picked up strange signals. Long-range telescopes saw flashes in the sky. A fleet of unknown ships entered the edge of Earth's space. No message. No warning. They destroyed Titan Station in seconds. Next, they moved toward Earth. The world watched in terror. But Earth was not sleeping. Thanks to secret programs, black-budget labs, and rogue scientists, Earth had developed hidden weapons. Plasma guns, rail cannons, cyber defense nets. They had never been tested in battle. Now they had no choice. The human fleet launched from orbit. Hundreds of ships, smaller, older, but fast and full of fighters with nothing to lose. Above Earth, the first real space battle in human history began. And something changed. One of the alien ships sent a simple message. Surrender. This is mercy. But humanity doesn't surrender. A pilot named Mendoza flew straight into one of the alien carriers, engines burning, missiles locked. He smiled. And said the words that would become legend. Tell your council, Earth says no. Then he fired. The explosion lit up the sky like a second sun. Mendoza's final attack destroyed one of the enemy's biggest ships. Pieces of alien metal burned through Earth's upper atmosphere. People watched from rooftops. They saw fire rain from the sky, and for the first time, they felt hope. The Council had made a mistake. They thought Earth would break. Instead, it united. Humanity awakens. After the battle, Earth changed. Borders didn't matter anymore. Flags didn't matter. Politics ended. A single command center was formed called the Earth Defense Pact. Generals, scientists, engineers, hackers all worked together. Not for money. Not for power. But for survival. Old space programs were reactivated. Private companies handed over tech. Hidden labs revealed weapons that had never seen daylight. And in the shadows, a new project began. Project Revenant. Its goal, understand alien tech, and use it against them. Learning fast. Human engineers studied the wreckage from Kai's attack. The alien metal was alive, smart, and self-repairing. Their weapons used plasma fields and quantum logic. Earth had never seen anything like it. But humans are good at one thing, learning fast. Within weeks, they built prototypes. Ships became faster. Shields stronger. They created cyber viruses that could sneak into alien systems. A teenager in Mumbai hacked a council scout drone. A mechanic in Detroit rebuilt a downed alien engine using scrap parts. A group of scientists in Chile discovered how to jam enemy scanners with sound waves. Humans turned fear into fuel. Grief into genius. The counterattack. 2 months after the first attack, Earth launched its counterstrike. 50 human ships jumped into the Epsilon Belt, a council-controlled system near Earth's edge. The mission: hit them hard, hit them fast. The leader of the mission was Captain Rios, promoted after her defense of Earth. Her orders were simple. Send them a message. Earth fights back. The fleet appeared out of warp. Council ships were waiting. What they didn't expect was human strategy. Instead of a head-on fight, humans scattered. They used asteroid fields, solar flares, and black market cloaking tech. They hid from the sides. From below. From inside their own ships. Earth's fleet destroyed 2 council cruisers and disabled a third, then disappeared back into the dark. No trace. No trail. The message was clear: we're not afraid of you anymore. The council cracks. Back in the heart of the galaxy, the council met again. But this time, the room felt different. The leaders were no longer calm. They have reverse-engineered our ships, shouted Valthrex. They hijacked our codes. They were supposed to be primitive, said Chiron. Now they fly better than half our fleets. Zilari floated silently, eyes closed. Then she spoke. We made a mistake. The others turned. We assumed they wanted peace like us. But humans are something else. Valthrex bared his teeth. Then we finish it. We send the Prime Armada. We crush Earth. No survivors. No one objected. The Council had chosen war. The final push begins. Back on Earth, satellites picked up a massive energy signature near the edge of the solar system. It was the Prime Armada, the largest military force the galaxy had ever seen. 10 capital ships. Dozens of destroyers. Thousands of fighters. It was enough to wipe out a planet. Earth had 10 days. But humans didn't plan to wait. The secret weapon. Project Revenant was ready. Using alien tech and human madness, Earth had built a new kind of ship, the Wraith-class dreadnought. Silent. Deadly. Powered by a fusion core that bent gravity. Only one had been built. Captain Rios would fly it. With a small team of engineers, hackers, and one AI known only as Echo, the Wraith left Earth in secret. Its mission: get inside the Armada, and destroy it from the inside. No backup. No plan B. Just humans doing what they do best, the impossible. Final words. Before leaving, Rios spoke to Earth. They thought they could scare us. Burn us. End us. But they forgot who we are. We're the species that survived ice ages, world wars, and our own worst mistakes. We don't kneel. We don't break. And now, we lead. The message went viral. Every screen, every speaker, every system broadcasted her words. People cried. People cheered. People believed. The Wraith-class dreadnought moved like a shadow through space. No lights. No heat signature. No signal. Captain Elena Rios sat in the command chair, eyes locked on the screen. The Prime Armada was up ahead, the Council's most powerful fleet. 10 capital ships. Thousands of fighters. Enough firepower to erase Earth 10 times. But Earth didn't send a fleet. Earth sent her. Inside the beast. With the help of the AI, Echo, the Wraith drifted past enemy sensors. The ship's hull adapted to the background of space, becoming nearly invisible. Inside, tension was high. Every creak felt like a scream. Every second counted. Rios spoke softly. Echo, status. 5 minutes until entry point, the AI replied. Its voice was calm, almost human. The mission was clear: infiltrate the Council flagship, the Ascendant, and upload a virus built from their own tech. Once inside, the virus would spread across the entire Armada. It wouldn't just shut them down. It would turn them against each other. The first strike. At 3 o'clock Earth Standard Time, the Wraith passed through the hangar shields of the Ascendant. No alarms. No resistance. Rios and her team, a hacker named Jin, a demolitions expert called Torin, and a silent clone soldier nicknamed Ghost, stepped out, weapons ready. The ship was massive. Hallways glowed with soft blue light. Alien guards moved in slow, rehearsed patterns. They didn't expect invaders. Especially not humans. That was their second mistake. The first was starting this war. One by one. Ghost moved ahead, silent as smoke, taking down guards without a sound. Jin hacked the first security node. Torin placed small charges near power relays, just in case. They reached the main core. A sphere of glowing energy rotated in the center of the room. Data flowed in streams of light. Jin connected a small device. The virus uploaded. 30 seconds. 20. 10. Then. We're in, said Echo. Systems compromised. All over the Armada, chaos began. Council ships started firing at each other. Engines shut down. Fighters spun out of control. Orders were reversed. Weapons locked onto friendly ships. From the outside, it looked like madness. From Earth, it looked like victory. The price of war. But nothing comes without a price. As the team ran back toward the Wraith, alarms finally triggered. Sirens screamed. Soldiers poured into the halls. Gunfire echoed through the ship. Torin was hit. He stayed behind with a detonator, covering the others. "Go," he shouted. "Tell them we made it count." The blast rocked the entire hangar. Rios, Jin, and Ghost made it back to the ship. Engines fired. The Wraith shot out of the Ascendant just as it began to tear itself apart. Behind them, the Council Armada was falling. Ship by ship. Fire lit up the void. Back on Earth. Every screen on Earth showed the same image. The Galactic Council's fleet, destroyed. People cheered. Danced. Cried. Strangers hugged in the streets. Children pointed at the sky and shouted, "We won." But not all felt joy. Captain Rio stood in front of the Earth Defense Pact. Her face was tired. Eyes hard. "We didn't win because we were stronger. We won because we had no other choice. We lost lives. Friends. Pieces of ourselves. But we also found something, unity. Purpose. A reason to become more." The Council was broken. But the galaxy was watching. The message. A week later, Earth sent a message across every known channel. Not one of conquest, but of clarity. "We are not your enemies. But we are no longer your prey. To those who want war, be warned. To those who want peace, we will lead." It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. The new council. With the fall of the old council, power shifted. Worlds once silent now spoke. Species once ruled now arose. And at the center of it all, stood Earth. Rios refused the title of Commander of the Galaxy. Instead, she proposed something else. A new Galactic Council with every species represented equally. No secrets. No fear. No empire. Humanity didn't want to rule. We wanted to belong. But this time, on our terms. Legacy. Years passed. Children learned about the day Earth struck back. Statues were built. Holidays declared. But the true legacy was not war, it was change. Humans traveled across the stars not as invaders, but as builders. We rebuilt what the old council destroyed. We protected the weak. We became something new. Not just survivors. But leaders. In the frozen ruins of Forlax Prime, a single figure walked through ash and ice. Tall. Thin. Wrapped in a black cloak. Eyes like burning glass. A voice like wind through metal. His name was Zirun, last surviving member of the Galactic Council. Everyone thought he was dead. But he had escaped. And now, he waited. The survivor. Zirun had once led diplomacy for the Council. He believed in control, in order. But when the humans came wild, loud, unpredictable, everything changed. His fellow councillors wanted to erase Earth. Zirun had voted yes. But not out of hate. Out of fear. He had seen the signs. Humanity didn't grow like other species. It didn't follow rules. It didn't stop. It evolved faster than anything the galaxy had ever known. And now, they ruled. Zirun hated them for it. Not because they won. But because they were right. Buried secrets. Deep under the ice of Forlax Prime, Zirun entered an old council vault. Hidden for centuries. A last resort weapon, built and then forgotten. He walked through dark halls lined with machines. He placed his hand on a scanner. Activate, protocol NC'd. Lights flickered on. Tanks opened. Code streamed through the walls. Something ancient began to wake up. Zirun smiled. They burned our council. Now, we burn their stars. On Earth. Captain Rio sat in a quiet garden near the rebuilt United Earth Embassy. No guards. No war room. Just peace. Or so it seemed. She still didn't sleep well. Visions of battle, of names she could never forget. Turin. Mendoza. Thousands of others. A soft beep interrupted her thoughts. It was a message. From Outpost Helix 7. Subject, Emergency, Disappearance of Star System H34. She read the report. An entire star system, 5 planets, 1 sun, and a science station had vanished. Gone. No explosion. No signal. Just silence. What the hell? She stood. War was over. But something worse had just begun. Echo returns. Back aboard the Wraith, now retired in Earth's orbit, the AI Echo had been running silent scans. It found something strange in the signal data from H34. A pattern. Ancient, but familiar. Echo sent a direct message to Rios. The Council didn't build this tech. Something older did. And Zeroone just turned it on. The NSEED protocol. Back on Forlax Prime, the weapon reached full power. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't an army. It was a galaxy-level code virus written in the language of the ancients. Capable of erasing entire systems from reality by rewriting space-time at the quantum level. Zeroone had unlocked it. His goal wasn't revenge. It was reset. He would burn half the galaxy just to remove Earth's influence. And when the ashes cooled, he would rebuild the Council from nothing. Let the humans taste what they gave us. The human response. Rios called for an emergency meeting of the new Council. Aliens. Humans. Even Ace sat at the table. Some wanted to hide. Others wanted to strike. Rios stood up. If Zeroone wants to rewrite the galaxy, we override him. We stop the Council. We can stop one Councilor. But we'll need everything we've got. She turned to Echo. You said it's not Council tech. Then what is it? Echo paused. It predates civilization. The first builders. The ones who made the stars. A silence fell over the room. So we're fighting gods now, someone whispered. Rios didn't flinch. Good. Let them bleed. A new mission. The Wraith was pulled from retirement. New upgrades. New crew. New mission. Earth wasn't just defending itself now. It was hunting Zeroone. Captain Rios, Echo, and a team of elite agents boarded the ship. Their goal, find the source of the NSEED protocol and shut it down before it erased another system. A final warning. Just before departure, Earth satellites caught a transmission. A simple phrase, repeated in dozens of languages. You thought you won. You thought you were ready. You've only just begun to understand who the true enemy is. Signed, Zeroone. Zeroone is out there. Armed with ancient tech. Fueled by fear. Driven by one goal. Erase humanity from the stars. But Earth has changed. We're not survivors anymore. We're the keepers of peace and the last thing you should threaten. The Wraith-class ship moved through dark space. No stars. No light. Just a black void that felt wrong. Captain Elena Rios stood at the front of the ship. Behind her, the crew worked in silence. Even Echo, the ship's AI, had stopped speaking. They had followed the signal from the NSEED protocol. It led to a place outside the known galaxy. A place where maps ended. A place not even the Council dared to name. We're not supposed to be here, said Jin, the ship's hacker. This isn't space. It's something else. Echo finally spoke. We have entered the zone of the first builders. Who were the builders? The first builders were a mystery. Even the ancient Council didn't understand them. They came long before the stars. Before planets. They shaped galaxies like clay. Built laws of physics like architecture. Then vanished. Some said they died. Others believed they moved on to another universe. But now, their systems had been activated by Zero-1. And if the builder's technology could erase a star system, it could erase everything. A dead planet. The Wraith reached a strange object. Not a planet. Not a station. A shell the size of a moon, floating alone in the void. It pulsed with low light. Patterns moved across its surface like waves. There were no doors. No windows. But Echo found a way in. It reacts to thought, the AI said. To fear. To memory. Captain Rios stepped forward. She thought of the war. Of Kai Mendoza's last words. And the shell opened. Inside the machine. The crew entered a vast room that felt alive. Walls shifted. Lights flickered. Strange symbols floated in the air. They were inside a builder facility, maybe a ship, maybe a mind, maybe both. Echo translated the floating data. This is a control chamber. The NSEED protocol was built here, but not as a weapon. Then what is it? Asked Rios. A fail-safe, Echo said. If the universe became too unstable, the builders could reset parts of it. Jin stepped back, shocked. Zero-1 isn't just trying to kill us, he's trying to rewrite reality. A message from the past. In the center of the chamber, a glowing figure appeared. Tall. Silent. Made of light. A builder. Not alive, just a memory. It spoke in broken words. We made. You grow. But danger comes. One of your kind has awakened the end. If it is not stopped, all will be gone. Then the image faded. Silence returned. The choice. The Wraith systems lit up. A signal was coming from deep inside the builder structure. Zero-1 was here. Not in person but through the protocol. He was activating the next phase, a chain reaction across the galaxy. Echo turned to Rios. We can stop it. But only from the core. Once inside, we won't be able to leave. The crew looked at each other. No one moved. Then Rios stepped forward. We finish this. Humanity doesn't run. Into the core. The team moved through twisting corridors of light and sound. Reality bent around them. Time felt slower. Or faster. Ghost, the silent soldier, walked first, scanning for traps. Jin kept the system stable. Rios carried the override code, written by Echo. At the center, they found it. A swirling storm of energy, the reset engine. Zero-1's voice echoed all around them. You could have had peace. But you chose war. Now you will see how it ends. The final confrontation. The reset engine activated. Planets across the galaxy began to flicker. Systems failed. Stars dimmed. Echo screamed in every speaker. He's rewriting the constants of physics. If he finishes, we all vanish, not just Earth. Everything. Rios took a breath. She stepped into the light. The override worked through her mind, through her pain, her memories. She thought of Mendoza. Of Torin. Of every life lost in the war. And then, she said two words. We choose. The system stopped. The reset failed. Zero-1's signal cut off. And the storm faded. Aftermath. The Wraith returned to Earth weeks later. No celebration. No medals. Just quiet relief. The galaxy had been saved. Not with more war. But with a choice. Humanity proved that even in the face of gods, it would stand its ground. And protect not just itself, but everyone. A new beginning. Years later, children would visit the rebuilt Galactic Unity archive. They'd look up at a statue of a woman standing in light, hand outstretched. Below it, a plaque. Captain Elena Rios, she chose for us all. End of Volume 1.